This is our project today. Mariah and I are in the vehicle. We have Ava with us. But we're stuck behind a train, so I thought we'd say good morning. We'd say good morning to our videos. Hi! She really wanted to wear her winter hat today, so she has her winter hat on. We didn't need to take Chloe and Ethan to this appointment, so it was another train?
Yeah.
The same train. It just has different boxcars on it now. We didn't need to take Chloe and Ethan to this appointment with us, so I lucked out and I found a friend who is more than willing. And I found a friend who was willing to take Chloe and Ethan in today for the morning. Probably just an hour and a half just to play. And so, I mean, that just means the world to me because taking all 4 to appointments is just a disaster. It was hard enough when I just had to take 3, so I am really grateful that I'm just taking the 2 little ones with me today. I did a fishtail braid in my hair, but it's already falling out. That's what happens when you get layers. Red cherry lips today. I thought it matched great with the polka dot cardigan that I was wearing.
Mommy.
Still going. A never-ending train. So glad we don't have a screaming baby today, because that's the worst, sitting behind a train and then there's a screaming baby. It's done! Woohoo! Remember how I said I was reading this book? Well, I'm reading it. And this is what I think so far. This is what I think so far. I can't get through it. It's too boring. It lacks enough additional information for me to keep reading. I have started, I've picked the book up multiple times and I just can't get through it. I'm on page 32. I've picked it up multiple times and I just get bored, I fall asleep, I end up doing other things. It really doesn't engage me that much. I feel like the overall concept is just one and done. It would have been more effective to just be a meme and go on with life. I just feel like the concepts in this book are repetitive and it's not really adding that much value to my life, especially for how many pages I'm reading. Now I understand why it's such a small book. It's because it was one basic concept that was forced into a book, and I don't know, it doesn't have the content to be a book, in my opinion. However, I really like the initial concept that is trying to be conveyed in here. Teaching from Rest, A Homeschooler's Guide to Unshakable Peace. This book has really reminded me that I don't need to be in such a hurry. I don't need to force things. I need to, take the time and smell the roses, if you will, while I'm teaching, which was a good concept for me because sometimes I just feel like I'm not a very good teacher and I don't like teaching. So this helps me just kind of take it a little bit by little bit and not force the teaching in a one-time session. I just, come back to it next time, no big deal. That was a really good concept for me. The other part about this book is that I struggle with this concept that I see being repeated in here about how homeschooling is God's will. Now, maybe you believe that, great. I still believe in God, but I don't feel like I am called by a higher power to homeschool. I just feel like it's the best decision for my kids and our family. I feel like I have a better opportunity to teach my kids what I want them to learn and for them to learn more topics. You getting fussy about this conversation, Ava? It allows us to make sure that they're getting an education on things like gardening. Some topics that I just feel like aren't covered in school. I can also teach about religions at home and our religion at home, but I don't feel like God wants me to homeschool. I don't know. Maybe he does. I don't feel like he doesn't want me to. I don't feel like that is like the point of why I'm homeschooling, and I kind of get that gist from this book. So maybe if that's a concept that you resonate with, that God has called you to homeschool, like he wants you to do it and that's why you're doing it, maybe this book would resonate with you. But for me, that kind of just clashed with my insights because that's not necessarily why I'm doing it. I am just trying to teach my children in the most effective, efficient way possible, and I think homeschooling is it. It also seems like the writer struggles a lot with kind of living up to the Joneses and what is everyone else doing, and I don't really fall into that kind of a trap. I think these children, 4 and under, they make me set my own tune, and I just can't really care about what other people are doing and if it's working good for them, because odds are it's just not going to work for me, and my life is not rolling the same way as theirs is, and so I don't fall into a lot of overachieving pits because I've learned to limit what I do early on because I just can't. I can't afford it. I don't have time for it. I physically can't drag 4 kids to gymnastics. I just can't do that kind of stuff. So if you find yourself in that kind of place too, maybe you would appreciate this book. But I think my problem lacks more of like, how do I keep doing things instead of how do I eliminate things? Anyways, it's, I don't even know if I'll finish it at this point because it's just like pulling teeth for me, and I just got other more engaging stuff, so I honestly, this is our project today. Chloe's practicing gluing these little shapes into a picture. So all I did was let her pick her background, and then I got the green and the flower color and I just cut some shapes out, and I let her glue it together. Now we're going to do trees and then make some nests and put some eggs in the nest. Ethan's joining us. He just woke up from a nap. My husband brought me a treat today. What a sweetheart. I just love him. Thanks, honey. We don't want any open spots for eggs to fall out. We're doing an under the sea theme, so this will be the sand on the bottom, and then these will be our seaweed that they can glue on the bottom, and then I cut out a couple of fishies, different shapes, different sizes, different colors. I'm getting a little scissors happy here. I also cut out 2 octopuses for Chloe and Ethan, and then with the rest I used rocks. I have a gentle leader on Lady right now. It was recommended by our vet, and I love it. It's not like a, what's it called? It's not like a muzzle. She can still chew on stuff. She can still bite if she wanted to. It's just literally a dog halter. So it just helps me control her by her head instead of her body. So I'm not like using my physical weight to correct her entire, 100 pounds of weight. Highly recommend it for any dog. Running with her now though, so I'm gonna say goodnight. Check you guys later. Thanks for watching.